Welcome to another special edition of Airborne-Unlimited at Sun and Fun Day 3. I'm your host, Holland Lee. The staff of the Aero-News Network and Sun and Fun have once again partnered to bring you all the news from the show via the Sun and Fun Digital Daily at SnF25-Day.com. Today's show is brought to you by Hartzell. When you want to get somewhere, make sure you're being motivated by a Hartzell prop. Coming up on the program today, Blackshape Prime attracts attention. Fielden Aero adds an avionics line. How low can you go? Stadia will tell you. All these stories and more coming up on today's Sun and Fun Digital Daily Special Edition of Airborne-Unlimited. First up, Blackshape Prime attracts attention. There's quite a race among the latest generation of slick tandem speedsters, and the Blackshape Prime appears poised to wrest its share of the market at high speed.
This is our first year here at Sun and Fun, and it's the first year that we are introducing the Prime to the United States. This is, in the US, an experimental aircraft. It's factory built at the factory in Italy. It's low wing, tandem, and as I mentioned, you can have the plane with the 912 IS, 915, and 916 IS. The avionics are fully configurable up to IFR for both Garmin and Dynon, and of course everything, because it's custom built from the factory, exterior, interior, you can have Alcantara seats, leather, whatever you like basically. And what makes the plane especially unique for other composite planes in its class is that it is made with the autoclave process. So if you're familiar with the difference between autoclave versus wet layering, autoclave allows much more structural integrity to the plane versus wet layering when it comes to carbon fiber. The plane is 26-gallon standard, that's one we have here. We are also offering 34-gallon extended tanks, which will give you a range of 700 plus miles in economy cruise. Your maximum takeoff weight climb with the 915, you're looking around 1,650 feet per minute, and 1,750 feet per minute with the 916. And these are all based on the DULV certification, which is the German equivalency basically of the FAA.
Fielden Aero adds an avionics line. Our friend Don Fielden has a few full-time jobs, managing IT for Sun and Fun, acting as distributor for the AeroPup, and now adding an avionics line to his list of offerings. Let's take a look at what Colonel Don has to offer.
The reason I'm here today is because I also became, just last month, the exclusive U.S. dealer for a new line of digital flight instrumentation system from an Italian company called Flybox Avionics, made out of Italy. We started getting requests for these avionics from some of our kit builders on the AeroPup side. And for a hobby, I used to design and build these electronic flight instrumentation systems. So doing some research here, came across Flybox Avionics, and the infrastructure, the architecture they use, the computing architecture they use in their avionics resembled what I was using in my design. So I thought, well, heck, this must be pretty darn good then. Somebody else is agreeing with me. Flybox, they've been in the avionics business for 20-something years, very popular in Europe. Thousands of these avionics are installed in all sorts of their version of experimental and ultralight aircraft throughout Europe. So I'm the first one to introduce these things to the USA. The instruments are kind of similar to what we've seen here in the US, other than they are very lightweight, small form factor, the same computing platform in each of these avionics. So what makes each instrument different from another is simply the software that's inside of these things. So now you get a very low-cost production process to produce some very highly capable instrumentation.
After the break, how low can you go? Stadia will tell you.
There's a lot of places I get to at the end of the runway or in turnarounds that I need an engine running. So for me, it's very important to have a product that I'm absolutely confident with. I am very confident with the Trailblazer propeller. And when I'm flying air shows, I know that propeller is going to be right for me.
Flight Club is redefining access to the skies. We currently have 68 personal aircraft available across the U.S. market. Aircraft owners can combat high ownership costs with flexible revenue options such as block time, membership dues, and hourly rates. Flight Club even offers a comprehensive fleet insurance policy with a fast and simple quote process. Whether you're looking to fly or list your aircraft, Flight Club makes it easier than ever. Join the movement. Let's take flight.
Looking for a new generation of proven and efficient aviation power plants that boast modern engineering, electronic ignition, and both direct and gear drive systems? With 100 horsepower to 240 horsepower, the Skyline and Redline engines offer uncommon value in an overpriced industry. Whether you are looking for fixed wing or rotor, MW Fly Americas has been established to service the American market with dedication and expertise. MWFlyAmericas.com.
Welcome back to Airborne-Unlimited here at Lakeland Linder International Airport. If you've seen something especially cool around the Sun and Fun grounds today, be sure to use hashtag SnF25Cool on your posts. We'd love to check it out. How low can you go? Stadia will tell you. Not sure how far you have to go to reach terra firma? Stadia will tell you. Stadia uses infrared LIDAR to measure your altitude above ground within inches. Virtually any airplane can use this device, and we're impressed with its portability and versatility.
Good afternoon. I'm Sean Skeeter Sherman, owner of Skeeter Enterprises. I make the Stadia series altimeters, which are LIDAR and radar-based AGL landing altimeters.
For pilots who demand precision, Skeeter Enterprises presents the Stadia series altimeters. The original Stadia uses a LIDAR for extreme accuracy, measuring the aircraft's height above the ground and transmitting the information to the Stadia app, where the pilot can choose to hear voice or tone notifications over their headset, allowing them to keep their eyes on what's important. Stadia Neptune is designed specifically with floatplane pilots in mind. By using a radar instead of a LIDAR, the airplane's altitude can be more accurately measured and passed on to the pilot, making glassy water landings safer and more reliable. Stadia Neptune brings reliable altitude awareness not only to float flying, but also to ski flying, ensuring precise AGL readings over water and snow-covered terrain. Using its advanced radar, Neptune provides pilots with real-time altitude data, making landings more predictable in all seasons. Stadia's unique hardware allows it to be temporarily attached to virtually any aircraft. Instead of spending hours wiring connections or paying for an A&P to perform an installation, pilots can mount the Stadia altimeters to their aircraft themselves, whether it be a strut, a tie-down ring, or other hardpoints. As a result, no STCs are required for installation, making it available for practically every experimental and certified aircraft.
Fly Corvair perseveres. Wynne has been an advocate of alternative power plants for many years. Specializing in Corvair retrofits, the engine has found a home on many Pietenpols, Zeniths, Sonex, and other breeds. We visit with Willaim to see how the Corvair revolution is faring.
So, tell us about the Fly Corvair program.
I have been doing Corvair engines for experimental aircraft since 1989. I went to Embry-Riddle decades ago, and we were taught to worship at the temple of Continental and Lycoming. But the problem was I wasn't, as a young A&P mechanic, wealthy enough to tithe at the temple of Lycoming and Continental. So I went and found an engine that had a history of already flying since 1960 in experimental aircraft. And I found an engine that I could work with that was very much in the Lycoming Continental mold. And then I applied all the things that they taught us at Riddle to the engine, which was testing, parts tracking, training for people, manuals, standards, all of this stuff. So while the engine is a horizontally opposed 6-cylinder air-cooled direct drive engine, like we think of many Continentals and Lycomings, the similarity is more than the skin deep. The similarity is like the philosophy of the program. The most reliable power plant is the simplest engine that will do the job, operated by somebody who understands the machine that they're operating. Today, the most popular installation are on two-seat Zenith aircraft. Probably 80% of the new fleet are going in Zenith 601s, 650s, 750 cruisers, and 750 Stolls.
After these messages, Bearhawk 5 carries a load.
Putting in your fuel senders was one of the smartest decisions I made.
Made a real difference in my flying.
When I land, I will have the fuel that I expect to have. And it's just been a remarkable improvement.
The size system gives me that confirmation.
A whole new level of confidence with my level of fuel on board. I mean, I know exactly how much I've got.
You know, such a simple thing, but so important.
Sentinel to me is an iconic aviation brand.
Here we go, we're taxiing out. First rip on the new prop. Bump throttle now. This prop really bites.
So you picked up a little bit.
Oh yeah, about 15 miles an hour. That's quite a bit.
Something we worked really hard at Sentinel the last 5 years is to try and combine the best performance both at low speed and high speed with our composite props. And I really think on this one, we've done it.
Welcome back to Sun and Fun. The Bearhawk 5 carries a load. The Bearhawk line has spawned 5 unique generations, with the latest being a big rugged hauler that's not only available as a kit, but supported with a builder assistance program to boot. We take a look at the Bearhawk program and all 5 birds available.
So we still have 5 models. Our biggest models behind us, which is the Bearhawk 5. The kind of the whole line of Bearhawk aircraft is made to cruise pretty fast, but also retain that ability to fly in the STOL arena, do off-airport flying, that kind of stuff. The Bearhawk 5 here you see behind us is kind of where things are evolving to. So in the past, you may have seen a lot of pretty plain Jane airplanes, but the market's starting to demand a little bit more. The Bearhawk 5 has been really good to us. It's kind of our bread and butter right now. So last year we did 42 aircraft, 27 of those were Bearhawk 5s. So it's the majority of our market right now. The Bearhawk line's all kind of very similar in construction. If you've built a kit in the past, they've evolved a lot since then. So when you get a kit now, your fuselage is fully welded, all your aluminum on the front of the airplane, your boot cowl and everything is actually pre-drilled to the airframe, and it's all on there. Your wings have already been match drilled to the fuselage, so you don't have to set any angle of incidence, dihedral, washout, anything like that, and your wings are structurally complete. So there's no build and jigs, there's no set and twist before you rivet, there's none of that involved. Your ailerons are structurally complete, your flaps are structurally complete, and so is the whole tail of the airplane. So there's very little opportunity to make it fly crooked.
Yeah.
Most everything that's very critical is already set for you. We also have build assist now. So in Oklahoma, we're doing factory build assists.
All right.
And then we have 2 additional facilities. We have one in Tennessee and one in Florida that are what we call preferred build centers.
Okay.
So they're a third-party entity that has a history of building really good airplanes, and basically they've agreed to start building Bearhawks. So that helps us kind of keep our lead time on our factory and build assist airplanes down.
Will Quicksilvers fly forever? It's hard to imagine all the time that has passed since the earliest generation of Quicksilvers took flight. In the half-century since, the design has matured, prospered, and kept tens of thousands of pilots in the air affordably. AirTech's Gene Borne provides everything from brand new kits to parts and accessories to keep all the birds flying.
Tell us what's happening with the Quicksilver generation.
Well, it's kind of unique, that we're still here, and it was like most things that stay around for a while. They're built on a good foundation. The original group that put the Quicksilver product line together, that was in the 70s. Ironically enough, the original designer was a Mattel toy manufacturer designer. In 2014, I think, we moved the whole Quicksilver program to Louisiana, got reestablished. When we did that, we assumed all the tooling, all the original tooling, all of the programming, all of the documentation, all of the engineering, all of the proprietary equipment, all of that stuff. And so today, where we are today, we still support every airplane all the way back to the weight shift airplanes, back from 1979, 1978. We still have parts that we ship out for that, oddly enough. I was just talking to a guy here a little while ago that bought one of the plans for one of the Quicksilver B models recently, and he needed some technical help for that. So that's really, so it's weird to see this transition. So we went from the hill jumping hippies to the retired airline captains, so to speak, But the same airplane, a little single seat airplane, it's the same design. Everything is exactly the same from 1986. No changes, none. So as far as today, all the way from the old weight shift airplanes to the SLSAs, we're still the supporting company for all of those products.
That wraps up day 3 for us here at Sun and Fun. Once again, thank you to today's sponsor, Hartzell, a longtime friend and partner who builds high-quality props for the aviation world. Keep updated with all the latest news at snfdd.com and follow us on social media. We'll see you back here tomorrow and Saturday for Saturday Flight Live.